Everybody, another update on the 76 Jeep J10. The Jeep finally hurt me. Hurt me pretty bad, actually. So, if I didn't live where I live, that has basically the world's crappiest hospital, I would go. And there's only one urgent healthcare clinic here, too, which sucks, and it's already closed. So, that's the only thing that sucks living out here in the country, is the medical care is really bad out here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So, my middle finger, this is actually bleeding still. I've been working on it for the last couple hours on the Jeep after I hurt myself, so that's why it's bleeding still. But what happened was, I was cutting off the rear cross member. So, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in a video or not. I don't think I did, but I went to my friend who is about 40-50 minutes away from me in Virginia. He actually has the largest full-size Jeep collection or parts, as you will, in Northern Virginia that I know of. And it's cool that he's only like, less than an hour away from me. So I got a bezel or header panel, whatever you want to call it, because mine is severely rusted out where the turn signals are. He sold me this 18 gauge, 8 foot by like 48 or 47 inch piece of steel for $50. I got really lucky with that one because I'm going to be using that to fix these panels finally. And I also got some door hinges because the driver's door, one or two of them are both bad. And I also got this piece right here, which is the light that's supposed to go right there. So I guess when you open your door or there's a switch in there somewhere, you got light for the bed. Didn't realize older trucks had that. I thought it was just like a newer truck thing. So that little bezel piece is supposed to replace this one that's severely rusted out. I thought I was just going to fix it, but I'm just going to replace the whole piece. So you got to take off the grille, headlights. There's like 3 or 4 bolts on top, 3 or 4 on the bottom, and I think there's a couple more on like the side somewhere underneath. And I think I might have to remove the brush guard, unfortunately, and the bumper to get it off, which sucks because this thing I fought for like 2 hours getting on, and the bumper is so heavy. It's really, really hard to get on by yourself. It's just really awkward. When you're laying down, you can't like hold the whole length of the bumper up. You got to have a buddy or something. So that sucks, but at least I got the part, and I'm starting to work on that rust. So yeah, this is the cross member, my cross member, and you can see mine was really, really bad. The frame is pitted on the Jeep. I've showed you guys this on multiple videos when I was working on the bed last year. And the frame is bad from, not bad, I should say, but pitted from the shocks back. And the further back you went, the worse it goes. So the last, like, like maybe 8 inches of the frame or whatever were horrible. But the funny thing is like the frame is still thick. It's like, so because it's 3/16 thick, even with the pits, it's still thick, which is kind of funny actually. So, it's weakened, but it's still pretty thick. But yeah, this piece is just done. This piece was horrible. The cross member is just gone. The whole thing is just bad, you know what I mean? Yeah, look at that. So, anyway, so when I was at his house, or at his garage, he had sold a J10, and the J20, the guy just wanted the axles. He didn't want the cabin, he didn't want the frame, he didn't want anything, which is weird. And I asked, because he asked me if I wanted parts, and I said, sure, I need that cross member. The frame was like, it still had the factory paint on it in spots. I feel really bad, but, he was about to go, and I don't have the means to move a bed or a cabin or transmission or engine and axles to another frame. I mean, I have a garage, but I'm doing this all by myself. I don't have an engine hoist. I don't have like a pulley system set up or a, you know, a wrecker in order to lift this stuff off the frame. So, you know, I have to just use the frame I have. So, so here's the frame that I had repaired last year. And this section I didn't repair because it's fine. You see it's pitted, but it's not like that cross member, right? It's still got a ton of meat on it. So the frame is fine, to be honest. But I had to get the new cross member. So here's the new one. And the new one is really, really nice. You can even see it's just finally getting the last bits of paint flaking off of it. You know what I mean? So it's really thick right here. It's just thick everywhere. It's just all surface rust. And it's perfect that I got this because I originally was going to use that YJ one, but in order to put the YJ cross member on, I have to lift the bed up and drill the holes for the mounting points and stuff, but now I don't. I even have the holes right here for the rear bumper to bolt on, so it's perfect. And we cut it off, you know, right at the leaf spring mount, so because I needed this piece. Oh, it's getting windy, the doors are moving. So, yeah, it's really, really nice. The only problem is after I cut it off the frame, I had to jack these cross members right here because the bed started to drop, you know, this section of the bed, because the bed is actually only supported over here. So this whole section of the bed right here is floating in the air, and it's got its cross member right here. But since you cut that off, the bed starts to drop a little bit. So my bed has more support than most of them will because I have this extra piece here. I have these pieces in between that sit on this cross member right here that bolts to the frame. So my bed is supported better than most of them would be, or all these beds actually. But it still dropped down, so that's why I have jacks on both corners to push it back up. So it's not welded on yet. It is bolted on just so I could line it up, you know what I mean? It is bolted on tightly now, actually. So this lines up perfectly. This cross member just needs to move. You can see how it wiggles because it's on rubber on top up there. So it just needs to be pulled down just a hair, and then just welded on, and then it'd be good. This piece right here is lined up perfectly. Lined up really good. There should be larger gaps right there for welding, so I might actually take my grinder and cut inside of here to create a gap so I can weld it properly. But this part is the bad part. So because I had to repair the frame when I was working on the bed, this whole piece right here is new, and this lower lip is new. The width of the frame or the C-channel is actually closer, and it's wider from factory because this piece is actually a little bit higher. So you can see it creates a gap like that. So I'm debating on welding the top portions, the bottom portion down here, or the middle I should say, and then taking my vise or my clamp or whatever and clamping this to kind of pinch the pieces closer and then just welding them. So the little hump right here is not going to matter at all as long as it's welded together. That'll be fine. So yeah, that's the new cross member. And that's what happened. So what happened with my finger is when I was cutting off the old one, I left the bolts on and I left just a hair up here, not cut. And then I disconnected the bolts or unbolted them, and I was starting to pry on the cross member, and I had my hand like down here in the way. Stupid me, I should have moved it out of the way. And the thing fell, and it fell on my finger, and that's how it, you know, split my skin pretty deeply. So, so that's what happened. Anyway, let me let you guys go because we're at about 10 minutes now, and this will probably be a two-parter. So, because I just don't feel like editing this, especially after my finger like this. I'm just going to upload a couple videos. So I'll show you the second part when this is all welded in, and we will go from there. But yeah, I definitely have to take my grinder and make the gap here larger so I can weld it properly, because you can't really weld when the pieces are, you know, touching like that. Because if they're touching like this, it already looks like I already had a piece right here cut off, so I can just continue this cut down, and that'll create the gap I need. So you need that gap in order to weld them properly, in order for it to bond good. So without a gap, you're just basically welding over top of it, and you're not going to get that deep penetration that you need, especially for this thick metal. So, but yeah, I am happy that this is finally done. This is the last piece of the frame I have to fix. I can finally get that bumper on and stop driving around with Swiss cheese cross member. So anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching. All right, everybody, so the cross member is welded on. I welded both sides. So the top was a little hard to weld because there's like no room, you know, for your gun right here. So I welded the top as best as I could, kind of just like set the gun with the wire right here and just kind of, you know, kind of like my finger, just went back and forth, and pulled it as I went. So the top welds are probably not the best, to be honest, because I couldn't see anything. But these welds are pretty good, I think. And now this piece right here, I took a C-clamp, and I had to clamp the two pieces together, because if you go back a couple minutes in the video, you'll see there was a large gap between the two. The C-clamp warped a little bit, but then I just got like a, you know, big fucking hammer, wherever the hell it is. This hammer right here, and little mini sledge, and just started, you know, bending this metal up just a hair, just so the pieces would line up so I can weld them. So they're welded, like I said, on both sides, top, bottom. This side is welded as well, top, bottom, up and down. Over there it's welded. So everything is bolted up now. So, finally got a cross member in here that doesn't have holes and pits, and to be honest, the other one was so bad I could grab it in the middle and I could just like wiggle it just a little bit. It looks like somebody took a blowtorch to it right here. I'm not sure what for. It's not going to affect anything. Maybe I'll put like a plate over it or something, you know, just like weld a little plate right here. I don't think I'll need to. So, anyway, if there are any like welding experts out there, do I really need to fish plate this thing, or will it be fine? I don't plan on doing any like towing with this car, or this Jeep, I should say. The bumper does have a ball mount on it. And the bumper is extremely thick, and it's multiple layers of steel. I don't know the ratings for these bumpers. I've asked online. I've tried doing searches everywhere. So if I ever do pull something with this Jeep, it won't be like 6,000-7,000 pounds or something like that. You know, maybe like 2,000-3,000 pounds. A small little trailer, you know, stuff you can put like, say, your mower on or whatever. Things like that. I think this is plenty strong for that. I know vertical welds, from what I've read, are not the best welds as far as like framing goes. You should be like doing Z patterns, but there was just really no way to do that with this. I mean, there's no... You got the leaf spring mounts right here. There's no way I can do something like that. So I could fish plate it, I think. I could put like a, you know, a plate between this frame and a plate between that frame. Maybe bolt them on, or... hell, I could even weld it on, so that way it adds even more strength between these welds right here on the frame. So, like, put a plate right here to hold it, you know, and then put maybe, like, another plate right here where my hand is between the two pieces. Can't really do that on this side, though, because, like I said, you got the leaf spring mounts right here. So, and also, this hole right here, this is, yeah, I think that's the hole. That's where the hole right here is where the bumper mount goes to. Either one of the two, I can't remember. So I have to be mindful of that. So if I put a plate right here, I have to drill a hole into it so I can bolt it through. But let me know what you guys think. Should I do like a fish plate, or do you think this will be okay? To be honest, I think it's fine. Based off the other welds I've done on the frame and on the vehicle, you know, holding 2,000 pounds of weight and I've had to do something very similar to this on my Wagoneer, and my Wagoneer pulled this Jeep with the trailer and like 1,000 pounds in the back. Total weight, like with my Wagoneer, was like 12,000 pounds. Trailer weight was like 6,500 pounds, and it pulled everything just fine. So I think this will be fine. I don't think I have to do anything else. So let me let you guys go. Sorry for the long video. Yeah, my finger's getting worse. This whole thing is just like full of blood right now, so I need to take this off and look at it. Yeah, I'm very, very satisfied. So before I go, I might put the bumper on or see if I can put it on. And then I'll go inside and get my finger looked at. So anyway, thank you all for watching.